Northwest Arkansas is expected to grow to about 1 million people by 2050. And as that happens, regional leaders say they will need billions of dollars in transportation improvements just to keep up. Northwest Arkansas Planning Commission has been studying 5 fast-growing regions of the country to find out how they paid for major transportation projects and whether any of those ideas could actually work here. 5 News reporter Taylor Howard joining us now to explain why they say this is all really about planning ahead before traffic becomes an even bigger problem than it is now.
Yeah, that's right, Darren. A new report compares Northwest Arkansas to Tucson, Austin, Orlando, Reno, and Denver to see how each one of these cities have kept up with rapid growth. The commission says it's looking at what worked in other big cities while it tries to close a transportation funding gap here.
Nobody likes to sit at a stoplight. Nobody likes to be in a long line of cars. It's also wasteful. We're burning gas, and gas is not cheap. We're burning gas when we're sitting in those lines. It's just much more efficient if traffic can move efficiently.
Springdale's Mayor Doug Sprouse says traffic problems in Springdale are the same across every Northwest Arkansas city, all dealing with the same growing pains.
I can tell you, from sitting in these regional meetings, every city is feeling the push, and not just the big cities, not just the larger cities, but smaller cities too.
Regional planners say there's about a $3.5 billion gap between the transportation projects the region needs and the money currently available to build them.
We are basically building an entire Fort Smith, Van Buren every decade on some infrastructure that may be a narrow 2-lane open ditch road and intersections and curves that are dangerous.
To help close that gap, Tim Conklin, executive director of the Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning Commission, says members are looking at how other fast-growing parts of the country have paid for major transportation projects, including voter-approved sales taxes and toll roads. Mayor Sprouse says that's a good idea.
But if we're able to toll some of these more regional and federal and state roads that are usually many times traveled by people who don't even live here, then that can help relieve traffic.
Conklin says the study isn't about picking one solution, more about learning what has worked elsewhere before making any recommendations.
We're still studying those, and so there's not one solution that has been identified.
And Conklin says no decisions were made at today's meeting. This report will help guide the future conversations as the region keeps working on its Forward 2050 transportation plan.
All right, so Taylor, Congressman Steve Womack has been the chair of the Transportation Budget Committee in the House. What did he have to say about all this?
Yeah, Darren, the congressman sent me a statement today saying that as Northwest Arkansas continues to grow, transportation infrastructure has to keep up. He says he'll continue pushing for federal funding to help pay for the road and infrastructure projects across our region. Darren.
All right, Taylor Howard reporting tonight. Thank you very much for that. While the push to change Fort Smith's form of government continues, the search for the next city administrator is moving forward. If that change of government makes it on the November ballot and voters approve it, it would leave whoever the city administrator is without a job. City leaders say the 3 candidates are very well aware of that.
The board has got to at least move forward with, even though there's some unknowns that are going on. All these candidates are aware of what's going on, and they're aware that if this were to pass 2 years down the road, they wouldn't necessarily have the position.
The 3 candidates come from city administration backgrounds in Austin, Texas, Sikeston, Missouri, and Dalton, Georgia. They will visit Fort Smith for in-person interviews next Thursday. A 9-year-old boy from Shady Point, Oklahoma has died after drowning in a private pond. The Highway Patrol says the boy was swimming in the pond 2 miles northwest of Spiro yesterday when he went under and didn't come back up. Spotty was found in 18 feet of water about 40 yards from the shoreline. The name of the child has not yet been released. After the hottest day of the summer yesterday, we asked around the area hospitals to see how many heat-related illnesses they've responded to so far. Mercy Fort Smith says this week alone, it has seen 16 ER visits for heat-related illnesses, 45 since the first week of June. Meanwhile, Mercy Rogers says it has seen 6 ER visits this week and 9 in total this month. Baptist Fort Smith has seen 13 ER visits this month, which they told us is not unusual. Washington Regional didn't give us a number, but said its ER has seen anything out of the ordinary for heat-related illnesses this time of year. In continuing coverage of the Cyclospora outbreak nationwide, the Arkansas Department of Health has been able to link now multiple cases to ingredients served by Taco Bell. Tamara Knight has the latest now on what retailers are doing to keep produce safe.
The number of cyclosporiasis cases in Arkansas continues to grow. The Arkansas Department of Health says 36 people statewide have now tested positive for the parasite as investigators work with federal health officials to trace the source of the parasite.
As of Monday, we were reporting 36 cases in the state. After further investigation, we have been able to identify that we are associated with the ongoing multi-state investigation with cyclosporiasis associated with the Taco Bell product.
Dr. Austin Porter says it's important not to blame Taco Bell. Health officials continue interviewing patients, working to determine what they ate in the weeks before they became sick.
Trying to get people to recall foods that they may have eaten over the past 2 weeks can be very difficult. And so that's one reason why, even across the nation, it's been difficult to identify the specific food item that's associated with this ongoing outbreak.
Because symptoms can take up to 2 weeks to appear, Porter says the outbreak could continue for several more weeks, even if contaminated food has already been removed from shelves or menus. While federal investigators continue examining produce linked to the outbreak, Arkansas retailers say the impact here has been limited.
We were blessed in Arkansas that we did not have any of those issues in the retail chain that affected Arkansas.
Steve Good with Arkansas Retail Association says most produce sold in Arkansas grocery stores goes through multiple inspections before reaching customers who still play an important role in preventing illness.
But we, do ask our consumers that buy our produce from our member stores to, take it home, make sure you clean it thoroughly. Cook it well if it's an item that needs to be cooked, and hopefully we won't have any issues at all in Arkansas.
That was Tamara Knight reporting. Now, we told you last night Oklahoma had 170 confirmed cases of the intestinal parasite. State Department of Health updates their case numbers on their website every Tuesday. Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin says he is suing drug makers that he claims are putting profits ahead of patients. The AG says the companies violated Arkansas Act 1103, which was passed in 2021. It aims to protect access to lower cost medications. Says he claims they used restrictions that blocked access to 340B drug discounts. That's a program that helps hospitals and clinics stretch their budget.
Normally, when there's a law that people don't like, they still comply with it. We see it all the time. Did they do that? No. They didn't even seek a preliminary injunction. They just said, we don't like it, we're not complying with it. That in and of itself tells you a lot.
13 companies are listed in the lawsuit, which is seeking penalties and in order to stop those restrictions. A Washington County judge will hear an appeal tomorrow on the conditional use permit of the new Ramey Junior High campus. A resident sued Fayetteville City Council after the council voted down an appeal from council member Teresa Turk in May. College Avenue site for the new campus has seen a lot of pushback. Many have argued it will hurt traffic and water runoff in the area. The school district's plans could also impact nearby neighborhoods, they say. Circuit Court judge will hear arguments tomorrow afternoon starting at 1:30.